Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the 12th update to the Throwing Shade project, and this is a project that is in collaboration with the Fantastic Ladies Facebook group. So I will have the information about the Facebook group listed in the description box, and I will also have links to Jessica and Amanda, who are the ones that started this project, as well as a link to where you can find everyone else doing this Throwing Shade project. But basically this is a project where you just want to get use out of your palettes. You don't want to pan them, you just want to get use out of them. And you pick 3 palettes randomly, and then you use the first one the first week, second one second week, and then the third one the third week. And then the 4th week you combine all 3 palettes into one look, or you do one or several looks using those 3 palettes. And I actually did film this update a few days ago, but I was not happy with how the footage came out, or I was not happy with some things that I left out in talking about the palettes. Like there were some things that I wanted to include, so that is why I'm refilming this. But I'm gonna include the second part where I pull the palettes from the last video, just because I want that to be kind of organic, where I pull the palettes and then tell you which palettes I got. So the first half is gonna be today with this look, and then the second half is gonna be with another look from another day. Hope that's okay with you. Both looks are gonna be with the 3 palettes, so you will be able to see both of them kind of live. So that's good, I guess. But yeah, let's just get into this update. So for the first week I used this sleek palette, and this one is called Acid. So here is what that one looks like on the inside. So you have like some neon shades, and then you have some other like complementary shades. Like looking at this palette, I think it's beautiful. I really feel like it pops. Like these neon shades are definitely neon when you look at them like in the pan. They are definitely neon, but what you will be able to see from the swatches, I hope, like the swatches are on top of foundation. I had to take like my arm and then I just rubbed some foundation on it, and then just to get like a little bit of something for the shadows to grip onto, and some of them still does not show up. So the white does not show up at all, and the rest of them are a bit so-so. So this shade right here, which is a pink kind of shimmer with kind of a purple shift to it, it's like a magenta shade. That one swatches beautifully on top of the foundation, and then like these 2 shimmers right here, the blues, and then also this shimmer right here, which is like a charcoal gray, those swatch really nicely, and the black is also fine, and they perform fine as well. But like the neon shades that are what kind of the appealing part of this palette, they just do not really perform. So I did one look with this palette where I used the neon green and the neon yellow, and I wore that in a video, and a lot of you guys liked that look, and I was happy with how it came out. It also looked better on camera than it did just in real life. So yeah, they can be kind of impactful on camera, but I had to work with them a lot. So for that look I used mainly the yellow eyeshadow. Today I used this green, so I kind of packed that kind of on like my inner crease, and I think to like that one today I actually have like the pop I want from this type of color. I'm happy with the look I am wearing today, or like that part of the look. So I'm kind of back and forth with this palette in a way. Like this is kind of I'm not gonna declutter it right now, but it's kind of like the shopping block if I don't reach for it, or if I buy something else where I have neon shades like this, I might just get rid of this one, because it just takes so much work. Like the quality in this one, I usually really like sleek eyeshadows, but the quality in this one is just not up to par in my opinion. But yeah, that was the first week. Then the second week, or kind of the second week, or kind of not the second week, I had to, oh yeah, I forgot, I also did like a purple look using the Acid palette, but I did not like that look, so I didn't take a photo. But for the kind of second week I used the Magic palette, but I was on vacation, I couldn't bring this big palette, so I actually did a look with both of these two in like the third week. But as I said, this is the Juvia's Place Magic palette, and before I had used it like that week, and I was like thinking about what kind of look I want to do and just trying to come up with looks in my head, I was kind of contemplating depotting this, because like I just can't come up with something like with a look I want to do when just thinking about this palette, because I have a hard time. Like I always want to use these greens, I think they are so pretty, and the grays, but there are no matte shades to like complement those. There is one purple shade right here which I like to use with this purple, and kind of you can do like a sunset look. You can use this red to kind of blend out the purple, and that look is really pretty. And then there's a blue eyeshadow right here that I had not used much at all, just a little bit. And yeah, so I was like, I wish this blue was a green instead, like a true green, like an emerald green or like a true green instead, and that might have made me like be able to think of more looks. So I was actually contemplating depotting this and put it in with my other like sugar pill singles that are in this size. But then I went to use this that week, and I did a really pretty look that I was super happy with, where I put this blue on my outer and in the corner, and then I put this kind of on the center of my lid, so kind of like a halo eye. And I really loved how that look came out. And then I felt like I had not given this like the chance that it deserves as a palette, because like that I was super happy with that look, and just coming up with that I realized there are probably more looks in here that I have not thought of yet. So I'm gonna keep it as it is, and I did swatch this as well, but that was just on my bare skin, like no primer, no foundation, nothing. And it swatched, like the swatches are so pretty. The shimmers in here are super creamy, and if you haven't touched Juvia's Place shadows before, the mattes are really dry. They're really pigmented, but they are super dry, so you have to use them, or I feel like I have to use them on kind of a tacky base, because they are so, yeah, powdery, they are just very dry. very dry to the consistency, so I like to have something like sticky where they can just stick onto, and then I feel like I get the most pigmentation. But yeah, as I said, it's a really pretty eyeshadow palette. I swatched this side of the palette by itself, and that, like, just those swatches are so pretty. And then I swatched this part of the palette by itself, and those swatches are so pretty as well. So I definitely feel like if it was like, if these were like one palette and these were one palette, I would have like loved those palettes. I think this just makes me a bit confused, I guess. But yeah, I definitely recommend this palette. I think it's a really nice palette. As I said, the shimmers are fantastic, and if you like can come up with looks, or if you're good at combining this palette with other palettes, then I think you will have a lot of fun using this palette. And yeah, when I swatched the bottom two rows, they kind of reminded me a lot of the Alien palette by Jeffree Star. So if you want something more like affordable, or in my opinion kind of the Alien palette vibes without the weird shades, then you might want to look into this one. Okay, and then the third week I used the Venus palette and by Limecrime, and here is what that one looks like. It's the grungy one, the red one, and this used to be one of my favorite palettes, and I don't like it as much anymore. I don't know if that is because the eyeshadows are old. I have had them in my collection for 5 years, I think. I bought them in 2014. So they are getting a bit older. It might be why they are not my favorite anymore. Or it might be that I have just, my tastes might have changed during 5 years. But I still really like these palettes, and I was excited to use it. But the look that I did for the week that I had this was, I just took this shade, which is called Divine, and I just put that all over my lid and blended that into my crease and then up as a transition shade, so it was like a one and done look, and I thought that was really pretty. Like, this is a very pretty unique shade, and yeah, that was the only look that I did with this palette by itself, and it swatches really nicely, and I have no like complaint about this palette. But as I said, it's not my favorite, so I'm not gonna like jump up and down and say that you have to purchase it if you don't have it or you know. But yeah, that was that palette. So then because I didn't, or yeah, let's talk about the look I did today. So as I said, I used this green kind of on my inner crease, and then I used from the Limecrime palette, I used this kind of dark brown to pack on my outer corner, and then from the Juvia's Place palette I used this brown right here to blend out the other brown from the Limecrime palette, and then I used this green kind of on my lid, or the inner half of my lid, and I enjoy the look I did today. I think it's pretty. And then for the other look that I did, I put this shade here, which is Muse, on my outer corner and kind of into my crease. I will put up a Get Ready With Me on Thursday, I think, or Wednesday. We'll see. I think maybe Wednesday. Do you think I should put it up on Wednesday or Thursday? Let me know down in the comments. If I put it up on Thursday, I might not post another video this week, but if I put it up on Wednesday, then there might be another video. So let me know what you think in the comments, what I should do. Should I post 3 videos or 2 videos this week? But as I said, I used Muse on my outer corner and into my crease, and then I went into the Juvia's Place palette, and then I blended it out with this shade right here, which is Kogi. And then I put this shade kind of on the inner half of my lid. I used this as an inner corner highlight, and then I kind of put from the Sleek palette, I put this pink on like the inner half of my eyelid, and then I put Muse from this palette on my outer half of my lower lash line. So I was really happy with that one, and I was really happy with this look as well. So I've had 2 really good looks with these 3 palettes, so I'm really happy about that. But now we're gonna cut to another clip and another day and just picking the palettes, so stay tuned. I have my palettes here on papers, and then I'm just gonna pull 3. 1, 2, 3. So here I have them. The first palette I'm going to use is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Ring the Alarm palette. I haven't used that one much at all. I maybe used it twice, so I'm super excited about that. And it says I got the Venus 2 palette. Haven't I had that in this project? Apparently not, because I'm gonna use the Venus, the second palette. And then I also got the Huda Beauty Mauve palette, so yeah, I'm gonna pull those out. Okay, so I feel like they all have kind of a similar theme, but so the first one I got, oh, that was the back side. The first one I got was this Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette in Ring the Alarm. So this is kind of like a fall, plum, warm browns, like reds, very pretty shades in here. This is what I'm gonna use for the next week. And then the second one I got, I think I was confused because I had this in my makeup collection roulette, but this is the Venus 2 palette, and here is what that one looks like on the inside. So we have a very like mustardy shade, this jam shade, which is one of my favorites, and then mud, and then you have these like more out there shades, and this one which is like a kind of greeny duochrome yellow, kind of, sort of, not really. It's more of like a yellowy shade, like a yellow gold. But yeah, I'm gonna use this for the the second week, and then for the third week I'm gonna use this Huda Mauve Obsessions palette, and this is more like a purpley pink, but then here is like the warm reds and pinks and plums, and then here is more like the purpley pinks and plums. But yeah, excited to use this one. I like the Huda Beauty, like the Electric Obsessions palette, is one of my favorite palettes, and I haven't used this one nearly as much as I should have, considering how much I love that palette. So I'm actually really excited to use this, and I can't wait to see the look that I come up with for all 3 of those, because I think that might be interesting. But yeah, that was it for this update. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!